Hello, in this video we're going to look at methods of connecting a fibre rope, one sort or another, to chain. In the rig there are several instances of this style of setup, but you'll notice with a shackle it creates an obstruction which would prevent it flowing over blocks or through sheaves. However, it is commonly used. Now, with a shackle, they are always secured with mousing, which is wire placed through the eye and around the shank here to secure it, to break a wire. You just put your spike in there and turn it until it breaks. There is a tendency when people are mousing shackles to put piles of turns on here. It's not necessary, because when they're done up, you do them up virtually finger tight so that that's parallel to the body of the shackle, and then secured with wire. We'll look at doing that at the end of this video. Now we'll move on to the alternatives. Here we have a number of examples. The first one is a situation where the diameter of the rope is too big for the size of the link. A solution there. Another couple of examples. Another example there. If the rope will go through the chain comfortably. There's a couple of alternatives there, and then this final one here is a situation where you want a smooth transition between the line and the chain, which is very handy if you're using it around a capstan or winch that will take both rope and chain. It spreads the load down along the chain, and the entry point onto the windlass is quite smooth. So now we'll have a look at each one individually and how to construct them. I've unlaid our rope for the back splice. I'll just put a temporary stopper in here to stop that, reduce that unravelling as you work with it. So if you take here, as you know, we've got to go over there, and back through there to make our crown knot. Alright, our crown knot. Except this time we'll take the link, we'll pass the first one over there, and we'll pass this one over the top through the link, and this one over the top and through there, and then gradually tighten that up. Until it comes down into there. Just progressively pull each one until it comes down tight. And you have your crown knot inside the top of the first link of the link of the chain. It's then a case of remove this. Then and try and work that up as tight to the link as you can. The reason being that of this thing there could be a tendency for that to move a lot and maybe chafe from the inside. Go round again. One, two, and more. Right. So being natural fibre, minimum of 3 tucks, 3 full tucks, and then you could go into your tapers, gradually reducing the strands down to a nice line down the splice. If chafe in this area is likely to be a big problem, you could always put a very tight seizing up there to really bind that splice to the job. So that's the using a crown knot as you do for a back splice and incorporating the link into it. Another method of attaching a line, 3-strand line, to a chain link or a ring, a deck ring, or bow ring on a dinghy where you want to put a painter permanently attached to it. So you first of all unlay your line, and the centre one will go through the link this way, and the other two will go back through the other side. Take the centre one and half hitch it back on itself, and this one you will half hitch it from the outside, from the inside out, like so, and this one here on this side will go from the outside in. Draw them up taut, and that will place the 3 strands evenly around, ready to do your back splice, which will be the normal over one. Over one, under one, here, over one, twist and pull, and repeat the process. Over one, under one, and back over here. Two, and your third tuck. So, and good pull, work up any of these loose strands. To make sure you've got an even load on the ring. When all is satisfactory, you can then either do your tapered finish or your staggered finish. With the staggered finish, you just leave one strand. Oops. Do two more tucks of those two strands. And then one more tuck with one strand. And go through the same stretching and settling process, and then you can just cut these once it's all stretched and settled. Cut these three off to give you that type of finish. Now we'll have another, or a look at a system which is suitable where a link is too small for the diameter of the rope. So you unlay your rope as if you're going to do a back splice, and you then pass two of the lengths through the eye. And then you take, as if you're going to do a long splice, you start unlaying one of these, or the one that's outside, and then take this one, or preferably probably oh yeah, just that one, yeah, and start to wind that in place of the wing, that strand. So you can probably give it a bit of a twist to make sure it doesn't lose any of its lay. And it goes down to there, and then you can, as with a long splice, put in your knot. Just leave that there, because with the long splice you then halve these and do the rest. Now with the remaining splice, you come remaining strands, you come over, and then you insert this as if it's a back splice. Over one, under one. Right, and then you have your two strands through the link, and the rest going down here. We'd finish this one off as with a back splice, and ideally this should have been made longer, give you a bit more room. And further down here, and you can finish. So in this example here, this would probably have been better off coming back down to about here, and then go into your normal long splice securing, and that leaves you room at the top here to then taper this strand into the rope. That fits more comfortably in that link than say where we did this crown splice, which is rather jammed up. Okay, now just as a comment at this stage, not only can you use these systems for a chain, but if you had to secure a line to a hoop or loop, you could do a similar thing. This method, or the weaving method, is probably suitable for a situation where you have say an anchor warp, and a chain running around the same drum. And it puts the strength of the rope right down, spreads it over all the links of the chain. That's making it probably a more secure way of doing it than one of the other methods. Now there's some preparation to be done with this one. The first one is to work out a rough length, so that end up come back to there. So this will be rather a short version. Then put a seizing here, and the next step, of course, is to unlay all these right back to the seizing, and then we'll do that, and then we've got to create 4 strands out of this. So each of these strands has, if we open that up, has 6. So if we took 2 strands out of each one and relay it to make a 4th strand, that should evenly distribute the load around the rope. Now that we have unlaid the rope into its 3 strands, we take each strand, open up and carefully unwind 2 strands from each one. Treat it gently to keep, or as gentle as you can, to keep the rope, preserve the lay of the rope. Back to your seizing. So that's the first one. There's 4 there, 2 there, and now we do the other 2. Now that you've split your strands into even numbers, you may find, as in this case, one of these strands had 1 less than the other, but never mind, just pick the 2. The reason they do that, I think, is so that they can get the desired diameter of the rope. But now you would take all these 2s and lay them together. So just look at it first, and then twist them together, get the 3rd one in. We started anyway. Okay, and you might have to go back and just tighten that up a little bit before you get to the end, so that they look much the same as these other ones. Once you've created your 4th strand, it then pays to put some tape on the end to point them a bit, which will aid in the weaving process. The next step is to get your chain, and you can come through the first link, up and down. Oops. Down. And with the second link, you take the other end, this one, and go up there and there, and then of course the process continues through there, through there, through there, and up through there. And you continue down the chain, say to about here. Yeah. Right. Now to finish the job off, you have to put a seizing through each link. So take some thread through there, down the back, so the back, pull these through, and then give it a second tie. Here we go. Then move on to the next one. all settled in. Give her a second go. And you carry that on over each one till you come to, say, in this case we'll come to here, and then we'll go on to the actual finishing off part of the strands. Now once you've completed these seasonings to firm up those lengths, you then come to the end, you take this one and weave it back. Whoops. Back on that side. Push it back, and you can take this back to here, through there. And this one around here, back into there, back into there, and these fellows here, take them around that link and weave them back. Back. Pinching them up. Now, if you're using a synthetic rope, it would pay to go again because of the lack of grip in the synthetic rope. And now, to finish it off, we just put a seizing through here and a seizing through there. And to doubly secure that, you could then pass it through there and through the opposite number on the other side. Back through again, through the whole lot. And tie that off. Trim that. Trim that. And you can do the same with this one. We'll pass that one through there. And this one there. And then we'll do 1, 2, 3 more seizings. Now once you've done all these seizings right along, you can then trim it off. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you'll subject it to a load just to see how it all settles, but that should be fine. Right, therefore, after cleaning up and stretching to see how it looks, one beauty of using brightly coloured threads here is that as it's in use, you can they'll act as a bit of a telltale if there is or does happen to be any uneven wear. Any frayed one will be a dead set giveaway. But there you have it. A rope spliced to chain using a weaving method. The weaving method of attaching a line to a chain, which we've just shown you, is a convenient method to use with this 8-plait line, simply because it's made up of pairs, and so by separating the pairs you can then do the same system of pattern of weaving the rope through the links. When you come to the end, you can tie the two ends there and seize them, and it makes quite a smooth transition from the rope to the chain over a windlass, etc. On a square rig ship, there are a variety of and sizes of shackles. This is a bow shackle, it's here, and these two are D shackles. They're a simple device in that they've got a pin which screws in after it's secured. This won't be a good one on the deck with a brace going off here, but once they're done, they're done up to finger tight. They are then secured from vibration or coming undone by what's called mousing. Now, I'll take this one here for example. This pin does not have to be done up with a spanner. It can be done by hand to there or to the nearest position so that it's in line with the shank. You then can get some mousing wire, which is a light wire, like so, and then you can just put it around the shank, cross over, back through there, and back through there. Use your pliers to just pull it up taut. And do it again, over, cross over and around. Cross over and around. And a third one. Cross over and around. Cross over and around. Draw it up taut. It doesn't need piles of turns, just enough to do the job. You then pass that through there, whoops, through there, pull it around the other way and haul it taut. Bring these together. Now, it's all a case of just twisting these up. You can use your pliers, or if you've got a fancy pair of these, you can use them. We'll just use pliers or our fingers. Just twist it together, like so. That should be just about enough. Right. And put them through under there. And the same with this one. Take these in your pliers and pull it. And through. You're pulling that through there is so that the barb, when you cut it off, won't be around to stick into you. Those together. And then cut it up close. And push those ends down into the tip so that they won't catch you. And there you have your shackle made up. Now to undo these, one used for your spike, and hence also the number of turns, say, be only 3, is that you can push your spike in there and a bit of effort if you're in the rig and you've got to undo its shackle, you can just pull it, push it like that, and that will break the wires free. And because you haven't over tightened it, you can undo it with your fingers. Okay, and that's all there is to mousing a shackle.